Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of the REL Div 7 video recaps with me, your main host, McSkippy454, and I am joined today by a very special guest. I've played with this man once or twice in this game now. Great dude. Really appreciate from helping out Mr. Iron himself.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me on, McSkippy. It's always a
you.
pleasure, and I do want a rematch sometime.
Because you got diced when we played pretty hard. Like, I think in one of the only times my lizards were graced by Nuffle himself.
Yep, you showed me block was good, and you screwed up my team.
That I remember. I did retire the lizards. I am human now.
And I did retire the chaos this season, so I am now human too, except it's just Norse.
Well, there we go. So, we are here to cover Div 7, the first time here. If you have any problems hearing me, please let me know, or my guest here, Iron. That way we can fix that. I am going to work on it on the fly. This is my first time doing video recaps. You've been doing it for how long now?
This is going to be my third season doing it now, so a little bit experienced.
Oh, awesome. Now, let me make sure I get to the Div 7 here. First off, I want to make sure. I think I'm not a real boy this season week because I have foodie bye week, so I get a bye week.
Yeah, I got a nice high elf game, and I think this third block was a Yeti block, and I killed his lineman, and it was nice.
Nice.
But that was about the only interesting thing, and it was a 1-1 draw because I double skulled. But things happen.
That does happen. Now, let me make sure I read this correctly, and I know it's not Div 7. But did I read that Rod died?
Rod did die, in fact. It was his first game against Sace in his first game in Div 1. So he is now gone.
Well, I believe I played Rod early on in either Div 3. I think it was Div 3 when I had to face him. And I remember him being a bastard. So, while half-mast is too high, screw Rod. I'm glad he's dead.
Yep. He ate too many lightning bolts and then wasn't ready to get normally hit.
Yeah. So, as I always do for my normal show here, I'm going to introduce what I'm drinking first. From Left Hand Brewing Company, I'm drinking the Chai Milk Stout Nitro. And I'm going to show the can here, even though you can't see the camera unless you're watching it on the stream. It is a 5% beer, and then my backup when I'm ready to drink is from Tri-City Brewing, which is a Bay City, Michigan company, called Giant Slayer, which is a Russian Imperial Stout. I know that one's up there. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've had this one. I want to say it's a 9 or 10% beer. But yeah, so are you drinking anything? Anything you want to share?
No, can't drink yet. Not exactly legal to yet.
That's fair. That's fair. Where would you like to start? I'm thinking we take a look at the schedule and see if there's any games that have been played yet.
Sounds like a great idea.
And already looking at it, there was a bit of a beatdown, it looks like, by Starstruck on the Flinging Fun, a 3-0 victory.
See, I think that Starstruck maybe just the humans were just messing with the flings because they have a lot of block to start, and then they have the speed to kind of deal with their throwing shenanigans. But
yeah.
These are some dangerous flings if you haven't seen yet, so I'm kind of surprised that this is a 3-0 like this.
Well, Starstruck did take a death, but the armor breaks did favor them. There doesn't look like there's any passes done in this game from either side. Statistics, let's take a look here. It looks like Starstruck really dominated the ball, and spent a lot of time with the ball possession in the opponent's half and threw a lot of blocks. Looks like Flinging Flun threw just almost about the same. They were one less, but I think the dice rolled a little more favorably for Starstruck there.
Yeah. Usually with flings, you want to kind of get an offensive line, and then you kind of have to hope that you get a few removals. And once you get the few removals, if trees keep hitting each turn, you're practically guaranteed at least a KO or something.
Yeah.
If every tree hits. And that's kind of their game plan. And if it doesn't work out, or if people are actually just staying away from your trees, you're kind of SOL.
That's fair. These I've not too experienced with the flingers here. I'm not really familiar with many of the teams in this division, so I'm looking forward to learning about them and covering them and getting in there. Hopefully, I can get some of the coaches out here to give me a little bit of their thoughts on how things are going as well. So if any of the coaches are watching, feel free. You got something you want to say about your game, or you want to do some trash talking through me, I encourage it. I want it. I want you guys to just let me mediate your trash talk.
Oh, it's always great when people like to throw in their little mix in the games.
So for the star player, actually let's look at the Torres won the MVP on that one for Starstruck, and for Fling, it looks like Pervince Forkson got his, and he's got an injury on him as well. It looks like it is a
could be
niggle.
badly hurt. Nope, just badly hurt on there.
Okay. Because I saw
You
the
see that a
icon.
lot when you play flings.
Yeah. Who did die for Starstruck, so we can already have our first death of the season covered here?
Let me look up BB2 League Manager.
Okay.
Also, if you didn't notice, you did get a nice picture of Taylor Swift with a beard.
I saw that, and I was beginning to look. I'm like, is that like... I was actually hoping it was going to be the Luke Skywalker beard from the last Star Wars movie.
So,
yeah.
getting down to it. Nah, this is still old. Let me see. Wait, nope. There's Season 8 REL. So this is 7, Starstruck. And the death was Megat the second alignment.
Was
so
he
no one really
developed
important.
or anything or like that, or he's just a perfect good
Not a
piece of
bit.
cannon fodder?
The best cannon fodder money can buy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, always a nice way to just trim a little bit.
Absolutely. All right. In the rest of the schedule, we're going to have BioWare for Life versus the Wayside Wandermongers, Hufflepuff Heroes versus Jazz Poison, Nuffle Nose Wonk Elf Fun versus the Royal Rumble Boys. I'm just going to put a quick note in there. If those aren't wrestling names, I'm going to be really upset. Less Sucky Bloodsuckers versus the Command Consulting.
Mm-hmm.
Film Flayers versus Doom Anvils, which I heard Doom Anvils is a team to watch from gathering from what the other players have told me about this division. And then the Murderland Plagueflies versus the Grungy Desserts.
Yeah, so sounds like there's a couple fun names in there, and I do know the Wayside Wondermongers and Common Consulting, and I have seen some of these other teams around, so it's definitely going to be cool seeing what some of these teams are actually made of, though.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to looking in here. Let's start with the Hufflepuff Heroes. They're first on my list, and they've already got a level up they need to use. No duffers in these Hufflepuffers is their motto.
Yeah, I think he was probably checking out what the division looked like before he went in. And this is the Woo on Discord, if you didn't know.
Oh.
And one thing that's wrong with this team is I don't think there's enough Tomb Guardian level ups.
I was actually, the first thing I noticed was that as well. And one of his Tomb Guardians already has an armor value hit on them as well.
Yeah. So, bit of an interesting thing there.
Yeah.
And then there is no development on the Thoros, which it's actually not the worst thing in the world. Keeps you kind of trim.
Yeah.
What? I think the skeletons are where it's at.
He's got that. They got a strength and an agility one out there. He is missing one that doesn't have any development on him. Not a big deal. They're skeletons anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he has another agility Blitzra. So
Yep.
these are going to be some interesting skeletons. He might actually just get to the point where he's going to run throw raws, not to even pick up the ball, but for movement 6.
Yeah,
It's not always the worst thing.
that was what I was thinking as well. Is like those guys are going to be good pieces to move the ball with, and you can let the skeletons do a lot of the work. I would be curious to see what that Blitzra rolls. Hopefully, for his sake, he rolls doubles and he could take stat boost or something cool on him and keep the trend going.
Well, if it is a normal, usually I like tackle, but I think this div is going to be a bit bashy unless he's facing the flings, which are very scary still.
Yeah,
Then Pylon could be quite a good choice here.
I encourage the bloodbath. My lizards were never capable of getting a full bloodbath going. Very rare occasions, but I would like to see it. As well with the skeletons, I like watching these throwaway players develop well and take over a game. And when they die, like you don't feel bad about it. Like you got way more than you were ever supposed to get out of them.
Yeah. I have seen a agility 4 skeleton that was in the Superstar shootout,
Oof.
and he's a monster.
Well, he does have the agility 3, and he's got the strength 4 skeleton rocking out there, both with block. Those guys should be interesting to keep an eye on and see if they survive, if they don't get pummeled right away.
Yeah. And just a side note for these, the Splits Raw and the Skeleton with agility, they are actually somewhat reliable to dodge and hit off people who are marking your ball carrier and such. So it's not always bad just to have agility, even if they're not your primary scoring piece.
Awesome. Is there anything you else want to note about this team?
He has 4 rerolls, which is a bit high, but if you like high rerolls, it's not always a bad
I was going
thing.
to notice he's got the 4 rerolls, the 3 cheerleaders, and the 4 coaches there, playing into his team value a little bit. I don't think he's. I didn't look over everyone's team value right away, but I don't think that's going to kill him yet.
It's going to reduce his inducements, and with Sotek on the inducement list, if you can stay low enough, that's actually a very nice thing. So I would probably fire down to 1 coach assistant and 1 cheerleader, just so you still do get the +1 as if you had a fame bonus. And then you can keep the 4th reroll, but sometime later in development, you're going to have to toss it because it's just going to get really expensive, or just grab Bleeder on a throw raw.
Yep, and he also has a level 2 stadium, which gives him +1 on the armor rolls when a player fails while going for it.
Yeah. Astro Granite has killed one of my players, so I'm very knowledgeable of it.
Was the player that killed you still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Oh, which player would that be?
He was a Beastman. I forgot what his name was because it was autogen names. But he had like strength 4, block, guard, and tackle. So pretty valuable piece. And he died to the floor. Had to apple him.
Jeez. I do agree with you. Like what you said, going back to the beginning, I would like to see a little bit more on the Tomb Guardians here, to see where those develop, and hopefully he can get them rolling through the entire season, and he doesn't get completely pummeled from not having them developed.
Yeah. And one thing he's just gonna have to take on the chin is just that armor 8 until he gets the money to replace it.
Yep.
And this is one of those, like, you really don't want it to level up because then you kind of have to keep it. And armor 8 on a Tomb Guardian means he's gonna be going off the pitch a lot.
Yeah, and that's a big piece that you want to have with that strength 5 even. He does have 50k in the bank, so he doesn't have quite enough yet, but I think that might be one of the first pieces I even replace if I were him.
Yeah.
Hopefully
we got some interesting choices. Yeah. The one time you don't want one.
Absolutely.
So
let's move on to
next
our
one's going to be Starstruck,
Yeah,
which is our
human team
that just played.
With this much talent, they are all targets. And he, like we mentioned already, he won his first game. Right away, I'm not a big human player. This is my first season, my first time ever playing humans. So I've done a little research. And already off the bat, I see those plus movement blitzers ready to roll.
Oh, plus movement is so huge on those guys. Just making an already fast team even faster is just disgusting.
Oh, yeah. And then they all have their block, obviously. I see a guard piece in there. I see some Mighty Blow. And what's that last one? Is that Sidestep? Yeah. And that's a good piece because with that agility boost, he's going to be a real target and a good ball carrier, hopefully.
Yep. Now, what's interesting is with that sidestep choice is he might actually just go frenzy on him and try to go for surfing. Though he could have got normals access with stand firm. So it's a bit interesting that he went for that route. But with blodge step, could make him just a carrier in general too.
Yeah,
And that's probably who the thrower passes to whenever he does it.
that was going to be what I was thinking as well. Good old Paul Crew the fourth. That might be one of his favorite targets. I haven't watched Starstruck play yet. I am hoping at some point through the season I can maybe stream a few games out of this division as well. This would be a team I would like to watch, hopefully early on. Mama the Ogre looks like looks like they're on a pretty good path with the guard and the stand firm there, right? That's stand firm. Yep.
Yep, that is stand firm. Probably the next thing that it should take is break tackle. If you want to blitz with it, then Juggernaut, but generally you kind of don't. And if it doesn't roll doubles after like this next level up, I feel it's time to probably ditch the Ogre.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just you're holding a lot of value, and it's a nice piece, but you're not going to have any great level options, and you're not going to have block, so you're not as good as it could be.
Well, you would hope at this point that their next level up is doubles to take that piece that they need.
Yes, for sure. One problem I see is he has 0 tackle, but apparently it didn't matter against the Flings with his block spam. But in the future, that could really cost him when he's trying to hit a blodger.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll like compared to some of the other teams. Like I think I saw an elf in there, and he already got through one of the teams that he would probably need it against. But with those higher agility teams, you're definitely going to want to pick it up at some point.
Yeah. And then the other thing is there's no catchers here.
No, that was another thing I was going to notice. Like all my reading that I've done insists that you get a catcher somewhere. But I don't see one. But again, maybe Turley up there is his makeshift catcher to work for right now.
He is pretty good. So I just find it that you're kind of just ditching your next movement 8 piece, and I just don't like that. But I know some people just like the strength 3, and it is what they make it.
Torres down there is looking like he's just a slower blitzer at this point. The plus strength, the block, and the guard, that's a nice little piece to have there for you.
He's kind of like a build your own Blackwork, except really good.
Yeah. He's probably a good piece that you could put up near the line, or you could play a little bit off the line. That way, if you need to move him somewhere, you can use him for that. These linemen, for the most part, are looking rather developed in some cases. Like he has the two guard pieces there. 3 of them have block. He's got the brand new lineman down there, Magat the third. I'm going to assume he's just going to keep following suit when they level up and just give them all block.
Yeah, I think we're missing out on Dirty Player here, but I can see the reason that he's not choosing is because he doesn't have a bench yet.
Yeah,
he's only at 10 players.
So he's picking up the journeyman for every game. One big hit and he's instantly down. I understand that feeling because I always suffered it on my lizards. If I lost a skink or 2, that was it. I was already down on the pitch. And then you run the risk of, you take the journeyman. He's got a nice team value, doesn't have a whole lot of money in the bank. 3 team rerolls. No cheerleaders or coaches assistants, so those are good things to me that I like to see. So you're not just giving away inducement money when it comes match time.
Mm-hmm. Does have a nice high fan factor, so it might actually earn him some more money if he wins the fame on these.
Yeah, that was another thing I noticed.
So, and looking at the club, we have a Magic Dome and a level 3 stadium, which means he did spend $200K at one point to
get to that level.
Just make his stadium look nice.
He's always got that nice weather.
Mm.
He doesn't like his team playing in the bad weather, which makes him sound like a bunch of little elves to me.
Yeah, bad weather, or it does stop sweltering heat, and everyone hates sweltering heat.
Well, absolutely.
Or a blizzard.
The worst things to deal with. He's got the McMurdy sponsor, so there you go.
Yeah. He does have a nice statistic of 11 wins, 3 draws, and 8 losses overall. And in his division last time, it was 5-2-6. So it's about middle of the road. So overall, I could see this team doing pretty well. And with the make your own catchers, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, like he already got the 3-0 win. We'll keep an eye on him through the season and see how everything develops for him. I'm rooting for him because I'm a human coach now. I got to root for the fellow humans, especially when they're not in my division.
Yeah. So, seems like enough for Starstruck.
Starstruck.
Recap.
Yeah.
And time to go to Bioware for Life with Dire Sickfish.
With the vampires. Now, I do know Dire Sickfish. I have played with him before.
Yeah. Now, did you know that guy's movement 8? Because I didn't.
Oh my lord, I did not.
This is a fast vampire team.
Oh yeah.
And the second one's movement 6. So he did take a movement bust, but he's a blodging vampire.
That is an interesting piece to me. Otherwise,
that feels bad.
Not a whole lot more development, but thralls, from my understanding, are just there to do nothing.
Thralls take hits and get eaten, and having 14 is generally what you want.
Yeah.
But
that's about my experience on the vampire front. I've never played them, but I know how they need to be played.
Yeah, they're a very lean
pieces.
team.
Yeah.
So that's a bit interesting. He does have 5 rerolls too, so he's going to be a bit high from that. But overall, that's not actually a bad thing when you don't have any pro.
That was going to be something I noticed. There wasn't any pro out there. I mean, I can't blame him for taking the 2 agility boosts. If you get it offered, you take it, right?
Of course. Or that's movement, but yeah, just still movement up, and that's kind of one of the things that vampires are lacking is just that speed. And one guy going in the backfield just to run around and grab the ball and bring it back up is huge. So should be interesting.
And if he gets a blitz on a kickoff return, you get the ball to this guy. If he's placed in the right spot, you're gonna do wonders with him.
Yeah. But that movement down plus movement vamp hurts me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have to actually develop this third vampire and then sack the second one if you wanted to toss him at any point. Because you at least need 2 developed vampires and then a third developing.
Mm-hmm.
That, or he goes up to the 4th vampire soon and builds him up after that, and having the 4, you can maybe grab a new one after. I don't know. That's just rough.
I would like to know, did he get the plus movement first and then get the injury, or did he have the injury then the plus movement? I'm guessing it's the movement then the injury.
With talking to Dyer, I would have to assume that he got the movement and he was like, sweet, and then he got the minus movement, and now he's like
probably the right way in the next game.
Maybe not though.
Yeah,
they are only 110k, which is not the most expensive positional. Definitely not cheap, but it's easier to replace than some others. So could be just he got dodge and then he took it, and then block was right around the corner anyway. So that could be a big thing.
Maybe he was hoping to get the same kind of path for Hero of Neverwinter and make this guy a better ball carrier than him.
Mm. He could do a passing player if he rolls doubles on one of these vamps, because movement 8 is going to be a bit insane for a receiver.
Yeah, that was another thought.
Some no gaze, but it is a double, and vampires really don't need too many doubles with gas, but it could be an interesting idea. Anything you want to look at on this team?
I'm going to look at the club real fast. Just a level 1. Nothing really special going on in Edmonton. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe you can give me a little insight on this one. Why take the wrestle on the thralls there? Just to keep them on the pitch to be fed?
Thralls kind of act as your sackers, since if vampires go to the ground and they're bloodlusted, they would end your turn.
Okay.
So it's just nice, and they only get general access. So like they can get wrestle tackle pretty easy and just do some other stuff. And the kick piece is just always nice.
I was going to say, he's got the kicker piece. I had just pulled him up. Good to help out on the kickoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he does have a thrall with a agility bust on him.
And a minus movement, but that's really not a big deal. And with his low money right now, he's probably just going to hold on to it until he hits the 150k mark and then starts replacing as he wants.
I was going to say, those would be my first 2 pieces I would move once you have the money and you're comfortable. But like you said, would you get that fourth vampire first, or would you replace those guys first?
I think I would replace those guys first, unless like the warden got another level. Because once he's a level 2 vampire, that's kind of game on when you get a new vamp, in my opinion. And generally, rocking around 4 is the ideal, I've heard. So
Okay. Anything else you want to point out with these guys before we move forward?
he still has no mighty blow, so I'm hoping that's what the warden picks up.
That would be a nice piece. The other guys are a little more offensive. Maybe this guy could take a little bit of a defensive role for him and help out.
Mm-hmm. And just improve the attrition game a bit.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at our next team here, which will be Flinging Fun.
So here's some of the scariest flings that you've ever seen, with three doubles across the flings, unless you count strength, which would be 4. But he has a wrestle and a block, sure hand, sidestep one. That guy's a monster right there.
That was something I looked at right away. My eyes were drawn to him. And I'm like, this is an abomination. Why does it exist for a halfling?
Yeah. And it's definitely nice because he's at 1 reroll, so he's definitely banking on the chef every game. So just having that sure hands pickup is going to be just a godsend.
Yep. Especially because, halflings are a very slow team. Making sure that you could secure the ball and move at a pace that you're comfortable with. And he can hold his own with the block there even and the sidestep.
Mm. And even if you're like offense with him, he still has block to just go after pieces or get thrown at people. But also Sancho can just start getting thrown into cages and try to wrestle people down.
Now you're talking about Sancho Carrot, not Clubfoot, obviously.
Oh, yes. Definitely Carrot.
Because he does have the wrestle, so he can get in there and ruffle and tumble with the best of them, hopefully.
Yeah. And then for Treeman, I think we're missing a guard and a break tackle.
Yep, that was another thought of mine. Was we definitely want the guard pieces on there. They both have got at least 1 level on them.
Yeah, they both have grab additional.
Yep.
Which is usually a good pickup, but I don't like doubling up on it because it's kind of like you're committing them in one place. I don't know. I just like them kind of being mobile still, somewhat, and having guard to actually help your flings start getting assists.
Yeah, because they're not going to move that far, and I'm just going to assume that his whole purpose is send halfling to tree you fling, have a great day. And he really wanted to make sure that he can get that process done easier than it normally would be.
Mm-hmm. And then I feel like Bob Teedleaf is going to start coming up from the ranks and get his level up sometime soon, and probably make block if he gets the doubles and be a monster.
I was going to say that we got the strength there and the dodge, so those are nice pieces on him. So he can stand toe to toe with a lot of pieces in most leagues now. If he's playing a pure bash team, you're going to have a few 4 strength pieces, but that that 3 strength halfling, he might not run across the field to get you, but if he gets to you, he's going to fight with you.
Yeah. Or even just being thrown to get your potato guy. There's like multiple uses just for having a strength 3 in general, because a 1 die is really big for halflings.
So let's look at the club. Well, he does have the 1 reroll. He's got 8 fan factor, no assistants or cheerleaders. Club level is a level 2 during the inducement phases. Star players cost 50k less for him.
Yeah. Nuffle's Altar is kind of like the stunties given thing you take, just because like making deep root from 300k to 250k is quite huge and can let you like buy an extra babe, or can let you get 2 star players and save 100k.
Mm-hmm. And he's pretty lean on the team value, so I'm assuming, I think most of the teams he faces, he's going to get a lot of money for it, and having the ability to grab that 3rd treatment is going to help out a lot.
Yeah. And then he does have just excess money, and if he wants, he can start ditching some of the leveled up halflings that he doesn't want. Like there's a couple just sidestep that are around. Mostly I would like to see Dudu Forkson gone. Because just having him off and you just reset it will make you find another block or a double piece faster.
He is barely into the level. I would wait to see what you get on Ponto before you decide what you're going to do with him. If you don't get a good roll that helps you out statistically, then I would probably look to move him right after Forkson.
Yeah. Unless he wants a much of sidestep diving tackles, but that gets to be 40K added onto a 30K player. It's just kind of just not worth it.
Yeah. Willcome is the sidestep diving tackle piece. So maybe he wants a few more like that. But Cotton, man, that is, for a halfling, that is a piece.
Yeah, just Lotho Cotton. That's the real man's halfling.
Oh yeah. Obviously didn't go well for him in his first game. He did take the 3-0 beating. Hopefully he gets better luck throughout the season and he gets a little more favorable rolls in his end. Like we mentioned when we looked at the game, he threw just as many blocks, just didn't get them to work out in the way he needed them to.
Yeah, definitely a big problem when your blocks just aren't getting any casualties with your trees, and that can really lose your drive. And especially if you even fell after that point and it's not working, then you know things are wrong.
Oh yeah. Anything else you want to touch on with Flinging Fun before we move on?
No, I think it's a pretty good halfling team though.
Oh yeah. Hopefully he gets it turned around and we can see him a little bit near the top of the leaderboard later on in the season. Let's look over at the Wayside Wandermongers, and I believe there was a piece on here I was already warned about.
Oh, this is the most amazing thrower you've ever seen.
It is the most amazing thrower, and I am going to issue a bounty on this piece already. I am going to offer up $25 in Steam money to whoever kills this player.
And this is in USD?
This is USD.
Okay. Gotta make sure that for the Canadians.
Yeah.
But
I instantly, I wanted to... I'm not in the division, so whatever chaos I can cause in it, I would like to cause in it. And right away, I'm going to put this guy right on there. Through Tossley is going to hit the bounty board. $25 US American Steam gift card to whoever kills this player.
Yeah. He was honestly my favorite player of last season.
He is a beast.
Look at him.
How can you hate him? Unless you're his opponent.
Yeah. You got sudden hatred for him now. Now, one thing I've noticed since the last time I saw this team is that he did cycle out a catcher that was a minus movement, had diving catch and I think it was sprint or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's just now decided to just ditch him. And then he's probably going to try to build up to a bench.
He has no bench and no money.
Yeah. No bench, no money, but some really fast pieces like we saw last time. So we got 2 movement 8 blitzers, and then he does have the 2 movement 8 catchers. And then we got the movement 7, 4, 4, 8. That man's just disgusting. Yeah. But this is a fast human team.
My question would be, how soon do you look to replace William Wonder, who does have an agility bust, or are you just using him for pure? It looks like he's got dirty player on him. Oh, I'm sorry, it's tackle. I mix him up. Yeah. So he's gonna probably use him more towards just fighting on the line more than carrying a ball or having to pick up a ball or do much with them.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he was actually made to be a kind of a hitting blitzer. So with movement 8 and Mighty Blow, he can easily put a frenzy on him. Or he can maybe make him a palmer. So when he stands up, he actually has 5 squares of movement to hit people. And doubling up on palm isn't always a bad thing. Then the third thing he can do is just pick up more guard, because only one guard is really lacking in this department.
And that there's 2 guards on the team. One of them is the lineman that's hurt for the next game.
Nope, you're right.
But the one guard piece is the Ogre, Wonder Jr. Not a whole lot else on him. He's close to another level up, so you would hope that maybe with this next level up, maybe he gets a statistical upgrade, but I would like to see maybe Juggernaut on him.
Yeah, Juggernaut's an interesting choice for that, because with Juggernaut, you're kind of not going to stay in place with your guard, and it might get you out of place sometimes. So I do stand firm before that, but if you're going to be blitzing with the Ogre, it's definitely nice to have. or
I
even break tackle if you want to just go into
I was
cages.
just thinking with how fast this team is, maybe he wants to keep the ogre up on his more valuable pieces that need to be protected, and you need to get him places.
Yeah. So it could be interesting. This is the one team that it's just really fast, but I think he has to kind of redevelop from last season of getting people halfway there and then losing a couple.
Yeah. Um, got a couple of block pieces across the board. His catchers are undeveloped. It's just
Actually,
that.
speaking of block, there's only 4 block players on this team.
Yep, and they're all the blitzers, and that was going to be something
So
like maybe you hopefully get some of those linemen to get going with it, or you get the guard pieces with them as well.
yeah, definitely I wouldn't mind a couple block linemen and then a dirty player as your third one because he's really behind on it without the thrower having it and maybe a catcher or two. And just I'd like to see one of these catchers go a sacker route and then the other one a receiver route
His
where it's like you get block side step and the other one gets wrestle tackle, dauntless, strip ball, that sort of thing.
his second guard piece does have an armor value bust on him, so it helps, but that makes him kind of an easier target in my mind because you could break him easier and get just one guard piece on the field. So maybe one of these linemen should take the guard route and the other one should take the block path.
Now guard is a double, so
Yep.
that's why he's keeping him.
Yep.
So if you do roll doubles, it's always guard. But I can't say you would toss that guy, especially with an armor bust. It's not
if you
that
get
bad.
one of your linemen leveled up, I would look to replace him a little bit sooner than later at that point. But if you don't get it, you roll with him till he dies.
Yeah, I do like rolling with some players when they die, and that's one of those some players I feel. Unless he takes a niggle after this, and he's really not an Apo rights. But as long as he's there, he's nice. And when you're already at an 11-man roster, you can't afford to get rid of him anytime soon.
Nope. Got 3 rerolls on this guy. No cheerleaders or assistants once again on the
No
club
cash
level.
to speak of.
No cash to speak of. Rolling a 1390 team value. His level 2 club, the whole stadium, has the throw a rock and get the ref kickoff events are automatically canceled. So that kind of spares him from taking a beating from his random fan events.
Yep. He isn't that bad with fan factor, but I know a lot of people are just not happy when the throw rock comes in. But I'm more always angry at the pitch invasions.
Oh yeah, I hate the pitch invasion. Like I'll take a rock because like there's a chance. It's it's just one person for the most part. But when a pitch invasion comes, like you don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah, definitely makes it go either way. But this is one of my favorite human teams to see. I'm sad to see Throw Tosley is getting the bounty, but if there is a person who deserves it, it's probably him.
Yeah, it's I think from what I briefly looked over, this might be the easiest piece to put the bounty on and get things rolling in the division. I haven't looked through the bounty board to see if anybody else has thrown one on him, but let's get the beat down going.
Yeah. So let's see if the Underworld want to do it with Jazz Poison. So
who's
we
killing
do have
you softly with our song?
Yeah. So baseline coming in, and I do say this team is probably one of the killer ones because Underworld have the strength and mutation access on Skaven Blitzers, and that gets a bit insane.
I was already looking through those. Oh yeah, the troll is 2 levels in. His Skaven Blitzer does have the claw as well.
Yeah,
he does have piling on there.
Yeah. Yep. So 1 claw palm, 2 claw mighty blow with the troll and the Blitzer. It is scary, and this is definitely a scary early team.
He's also got tentacles on that troll.
Yeah, can't escape him.
No.
One thing I'd like to see though is guard, and he needs it relatively soon.
There is no guard on this roster. Only the 1 block piece as well, but there's a couple wrestle pieces out there.
Now, one thing that's interesting is these are like really, really trim throwers, but really, really nice linemen. And you would assume that dodge is like a normal skill access when you see it just in the same order, but no, he just rolled doubles at the same time.
The luck.
So these are really nice sackers. he can get 2 heads now and just start cage diving with them, or trying to go through screens at hitting. It's going to be a very useful tool here.
He did take kick on one of his linemen there. Oh, that's not kick. It's tackle. Dang it. But he did take the tackle piece, which I do like to see. I just look at the foot, and I'm like, oh, that's kick. But I'm like, no, wait, hang on.
Or as a dirty player, you never know.
Yeah. The Underworld Goblin down there, Monk Jr., with the 2 heads and the big hand. That's a nice little piece as well.
Yep, just having that is just, I'm going to go in all those tackle zones and pick that up. See ya.
Yeah.
And then we also have just a pure agility goblin, which is actually awesome for when you want to throw with the troll. So he's going to be the one turning threat right there. If I was to aim for anybody, it would be him and probably just those blitzers and the line rats. Just because they're all just so valuable on this team. But this is a really scary team.
Oh, it is a very scary team. My only concern would always be that always hungry on the troll. It takes one time. Like back in the original Blood Bowl, when I used to play with my friends, I had an orc team I played. Had a really leveled up goblin, and my troll decided one day, nah, you don't have him anymore. But that's the risk you run when you throw pieces.
Yeah. But at this point, it's kind of like you throw him to try to win, and if he dies, you always just start a new guy up.
If he dies,
there's really no harm. Yeah. So
this is a really dangerous looking team, though. I really like this team.
Yep. Just, I think the only thing that died were the throwers with the junior and the second, but everyone else has pretty much stayed alive. That matters, or with their reincarnation became better than ever. So very spooky stuff.
The one thrower is close to his level up. Would like to see where he takes that guy next.
It could be block or extra arms, because these guys are agility 3 at the moment, and mutations can fix it, but it depends if he wants to.
Mm-hmm. Looking at the rerolls, we got 3. Just an Apo as well. 6 fan factor. Level 2 club. Star players cost 50k less for him as well.
Yep. So I actually kind of don't like it on this team at its current TV with 1470. There's a lot of other teams actually higher than, or actually lower than him, and that Nuffles altar is going to go both ways. And when you get hit with like a cheap chainsaw, and they just take it to one of your blitzers on a foul, it's not going to be a fun time.
Not at all. Anything you would like to add on this team?
This is probably one of the strongest Underworld teams, I have to just say, that I've seen. And only a couple things will kind of make it optimal. And I'm really looking forward to see where this one goes.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye on him. He was not one of the teams I was warned about going into this, but right away, that's one of my favorites to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the Royal Rumble Boys, the Nurgle.
Yep, with A-Grain. That used to be a orc coach. And then he rolled.
I am not disappointed. The wrestling names are there. Thank you. If it wasn't there, I would have automatically petitioned for him to be removed.
Now, this really looks like a strong Nurgle team right here, with only a couple flaws. And would you like to point out something you like?
Ric Flair with the movement, the movement allowance, the boost there. Mm-hmm. Nice, lots of block across the board, but I don't see any guard pieces on this one yet.
Yep. So no guard. Somehow the Beast of Nurgle has not leveled up, and I imagine he uses them as a roadblock and does not take his 3 dice with him, which I feel like is kind of a missed thing. But when you don't have guard, it's a problem. And
the claws on the Nurgle Warrior.
I actually really like that, because he doesn't have a killer, a true killer anyway. He kind of has like a pseudo elf hunter with John Cena over there for his claw and pylon.
Yeah.
So he's just a bit behind. But one thing I'm really liking is just he's gotten the Nurgle Warrior level ups to block, and that makes this team just from no reliability to all the reliability, because that's going to be your main blocking piece. And using some Beastmen. Next thing I want to point out is that his Pestigores, I feel, are a bit underdeveloped for what he has, and it's causing his TV to go really high already.
Yeah, I mean, like, the one Pestigore does have the plus movement. Everything else is kind of not there yet. And I'm gonna assume, got Hulk Hogan and Edge. They've got 5 each. They probably picked up a MVP along the way, but Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio aren't there yet. Um, I would see what you get out of your level ups with these guys before we move forward, but I don't. I agree with you. Like your team value is a little high. You've got money in the bank already. It wouldn't hurt maybe to start cutting some of these guys and trimming yourself down.
I wasn't more mean cutting. It was more when you pick up Pestigors, you're picking up 80k worth of player, which is really expensive for what they are, and they're 20 more to Beastman because they have regen, which is nice and all when they're developed. But at this point, like the only one I feel like is fully developed where he needs to be is John Cena. I felt like Triple H and Hulk Hogan should have had one more level each before picking up this last one because 80k is worth 2 Rotters, and this is definitely a team that likes to foul and likes to have extra players.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit rough at where he's at, but he's made his choice and he wanted his Pestigors. So leveling him up is going to be a bit of a slow process, I feel.
Yeah, the players that are leveled up and developed are nice pieces. The rest of the team's just a little bit behind on there.
Mm-hmm. But I know Agrain's a decent coach, and he can really pull this one together, I feel. And these Neural Warriors are just like at their tipping point of where they start to get their levels and be scary or not. Because I think we'll see one more Mighty Blow one, and we'll definitely see like 2 guards here.
Like that was like I said, that the biggest thing I would like to see is a couple guard pieces get put on these guys, and you probably put them on The Rock and Stone Cold, just because that's what I would put them on just for the namesake.
Sounds about right.
3 team rerolls, nothing else really. Got 8 fan factor. Looking at the club, just a level 1, so he hasn't put any time into it. We've got money we could work on if we need to replace pieces, and we've got a team value that we both kind of agree could be trimmed a little bit or helped out in other areas.
Mm. Yeah, just high because Nurgle is high. They're really expensive for what they are.
Oh yeah.
But as far as their last season went, they went 4-4-5, so another mid-tabler. But this is like the Nurgle special where at first they are bad and then they're great.
Absolutely. I do need to take a quick second here. My wife has called me 4 times, so 1 second.
Go for it.
All right, I do apologize. I am back.
Welcome back.
Anything you would like to finish up with them, or are we ready to move on to the Nuffle Nose Wonk Elf fun?
I think Nuffle Nose Wonk Elf fun is definitely what needs to be looked at.
We do.
And Wonk Elf fun we have. So, looking at it, we do have our 4 Blitzers, 2 Witch Elves, a Runner, some Linemen, and our 11th player is an Assassin.
That is a nice little piece on these guys.
Yeah.
Brand new piece,
now,
it looks like.
I know most people kind of hate Assassins, but I think it's an actually valuable tool. You just have to give about 1 level to make about as useful as you're going to get them.
Well, you also need to use them correctly and don't just throw them out there to be targets. I mean, like that, it could work, but you want to use the Assassin to its full ability if you're going to roll with it.
Yeah. So, one thing that people kind of misconstrue about the Assassin is that you got to go like blitz people or stab them. And it's really just a piece that the best way to use it is you put it on someone that's kind of acting as an assist and a stab potential when they stand up. So that's how it's supposed to be used, and people just kind of want to throw it out there a lot.
You want to shiv them when you need to.
Yeah, and then you can always block him off afterwards, and it's good.
Speaking of
But
block, we have Bob the lineman with a plus strength and a block on him.
yeah, he's gonna be quite useful, I would imagine. I don't know exactly where you go with this. Maybe you make him a sacker, but if he was going to do that, we should have seen some wrestle.
Yeah,
So
that was a thought of mine. But regardless, the block helps. It'll keep him up on his feet a bit longer, if anything.
yeah, it's not a bad pickup. It's just I don't think I would have done it. But with your Dark Elves, you kind of want to do the bash game, and he's definitely a good bashing player.
He does have both of his two of his three linemen. I'm sorry, have block. The other one does have kick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we get to this runner, which is looking like he's actually going to be going for a more passy runner than anything else. So I would expect to see maybe accurate out of him in this next level up coming up.
That'd be something I would look into as well. We got the jump up, the block, and the movement allowance. Definitely a nice piece to have. Oh, I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong piece.
Yeah, that's a witch elf.
Runner, yeah, the witch elf is still a nice piece. The runner, yes, I do agree. I'm sitting there like, all right, I like that, but I'm like, wait a second, that's not a runner.
Yeah, that's no runner.
I clicked and overlooked.
But the witch elf's really nice, especially if he's going to go for the thrower runner, because that's a big receiving threat right there.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm being joined now by my new special guest. What's in here for me?
For you, heart.
Oh, it's a heart. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For the camera to see the heart.
Yeah. That's the best special guest. I wish I had those special guests.
Oh, yeah. She, during one of my games, when we took a hit, she witnessed it. And,
Pink.
oh, that one is pink. Thank you very much. She was not very happy that I was taking a hit to the face at the time.
Yeah.
But the witch elf, yes, I do really like this witch elf.
Very nice, very fast, and surfing plays that's going to happen.
Oh,
I would imagine maybe some leap. Just go behind people and just say zoom, zoom, you're off.
With the runner, that will be a nice complementary piece there. You could surf all day with it. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then Moodfo Tote of Doom. He is just going to be a nice sacker, or not sacker, but a nice just killer in general. And if he rolls one more doubles, he gets to pile on.
The dodge piece is nice on there with the tackle and the mighty blow.
Yeah, it's just nice sweeper. So, looking at the club, we got nothing. Exactly nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, and his record last season in 5D was 544. So, we're looking at an average record, but a pretty above average team, I'd have to say. So, I could really see him doing good in this division here.
With the right rolls, it definitely will go in his favor, and hopefully it happens.
Mm-hmm. And just one thing I would like to see is just extra bench of one. And then this would be a nigh perfect elf team. Now I imagine he's actually using a blitzer on the line of scrimmage. As you can see, the linemen are a bit developed to go up there now. This is going to be interesting to see how that goes.
I agree. I'm sorry about that. I had myself on mute trying to sort this out. But I agree with everything that you said.
That's good to hear.
Anything else you would like to add before we move on to our next, which is the Common Consulting?
I think we should go talk about them. So, Common Consulting
is I've been participating in the Discord with this coach recently.
Yep. Do you know how to pronounce his name yet?
Is it Dare Cannon?
You got it directly right.
Awesome.
So, he is 1960 because of 60K of bank float. So, he's actually a 1630 team.
1690. But the big,
yep.
Yeah, you're right, but the big bank there.
Mm-hmm.
That factors in.
So, he's actually 1630, which is still pretty huge. But once you look at this team, you know why.
It's very deep. There are some very nice developed pieces on here. I like that throw the first one right away.
Yeah, that throw is definitely going to be his carrier, and he does not go anywhere without him. Um, what this team's strengths are is he has a lot of mighty blow for those Tomb Guardians just to start leveling, and they've been doing their job pretty well. And he
Um,
does have a strength up and a block one, so making it a bit more reliable.
the Tomb Guardian does have the guard piece there as well, which I like to
Mhm.
see.
Yeah, and as I was talking to him, a lot of Cameroon coaches actually don't like early guard on Tomb Guardians because of just how slow it is without Mighty Blow. It's just one of those skills you just kind of need to pick up, and then you start developing from there. So you'll see some stand firm, you'll see some guard, and you'll just watch them be a pain in the butt because they just get to enforce 4 strength 5 everywhere, and then now a strength 6 in there in the mix.
I already like some of these level ups here. I see two dirty players.
Mm-hmm.
That one dirty player does have the agility bust, but he's a kicker as well,
Yeah.
so that serves some purpose. I mean, I hold on to him maybe a little bit longer, but you're pretty deep elsewhere if you're trying to.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to Kemri dodge with agility too, we have a problem. But
Yeah.
so a move or an agility bust is actually what I would consider the best bust to have on one of these guys.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say with the dirty player, like that's an instant.
Yeah.
Like I have no problems all day throwing that guy up first to foul.
Yeah.
And if things go wrong,
Unless you
hey,
need to kick.
unless you need to kick. Um,
Yeah.
But I'd throw him out there without any hesitation if I needed to. And if things turn out red for you, oh, well, what'd you lose? Not you lost kick. That's really about it.
Yeah. And then we have really deep bench. I feel like we can cut off the 15th player that's missing next game regardless.
Yeah,
And
that would help with the team value
Yeah.
to bring him in line with some of the other coaches.
yeah. But I know he's just trying to do the I run 13 players and then each dirty player is just added on. If you catch my drift of this. So it's
Mhm.
like he has 13 plus 2 dirty players, so it's now a 15 roster. But I think you can dip down to it just a 14 man. That's
I-
generally where you want to be at.
I really like that other skeleton piece there with the wrestle and the tackle.
Very nice skeleton. And I think he probably just ate 4 MVPs. Which, I mean, when you have it, it's good to have. And I am actually wrong. He has a touchdown, a casualty, and 3 MVPs. So
he put a little effort in. I'm sure he probably put a little bit of
Yeah.
effort in after he got wrestle.
yeah. He was just one bit away from getting tackle, and he's like, I want a sweeper. And this is his only tackle of the team, so he's actually a very useful piece because his his blitz raws keep dying. He had some mighty blow ones, then one died, then he gets another mighty blow one, then the other dies. Yeah, so no luck there. So he's probably leaving him out to dry. You know, skeleton pun intended.
I like the fourth Tomb Guardian as well. You got the plus strength. Take a already player that's stronger than most players on the pitch. You make him even stronger. With the mighty blow as well.
Yeah.
I would, man, he's got to be wreaking havoc with that guy on the pitch. Or
Yeah, I would imagine so.
107 blocks succeeded. Is inflicted 17 injuries. Doesn't have a kill yet. That's a little disappointing.
Well, I mean, with plus strength, you're not usually getting kills. It's the mighty blow that gets you them.
Yep. He has run the ball for 22 yards.
That's an interesting statistic.
Isn't it?
It's always good to hear someone's trying to rush them.
He has gotten 2 MVPs with that piece, so I'm sure that really helped him along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But yeah, in general, we have 2 Tomb Guardians that are just one SPP away from just getting a level. So with his Mighty Blow guard, he could get stand firm on one, and then the other can get guard. Or if he rolls doubles on either of these, block would just be perfect at this moment.
yeah, that was going to be the
Just
next
be a
thing
devastating piece.
I was going to ask you is with the one that has the Mighty Blow and guard. Let's say you roll doubles. Are you going to take the block, or are you going to go for another 6 strength? Depending on what doubles you roll, of course.
Oh, I would definitely take block over the 6 strength because improving the reliability of it is great, and this would also avoid some more TV bloat. Because yes, having a lot of strength ups is nice, but he's not at that point where if you saw Gengar's team, his team has like 4 strength ups on it, but it's 2 Tomb Guardians and 2 Blitz Raws that are very developed, and that's kind of the trade off you do. Do you want development or do you want just raw stats that are crazy?
overall, this is a very nice looking team. I really like how everything looks. We got the 3 rerolls. The
Mhm.
club level 2. It's gonna have the nice weather at all times for him, basically. Unless it
It's pretty
starts.
much mandatory if you don't roll agility ups on skeletons.
No, yeah. Anything you want to add?
Nope. This is definitely going to be a strong team. Or sorry, I guess I do, but this is going to be a strong team that's coming in this season. And rocking 5 mighty blow to start is going to be a bit scary.
The rest of the league needs to look out because he's gonna beat you pretty hard if he gets the chance.
Yep. Now you were telling me that Doom Anvils was something to look at, so
That's
let's go
what
check
I've been
them out.
passed on to. Yeah, Doom Anvils is one of the teams I was told to look for.
So, first off, I can tell that they have some nice referee patterns. Definitely not have been in jail or convicts or anything, and they definitely have a motto. I'm swearing to you. Um, but once we get past that point, we do see a lot of a certain skill, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Lots and lots of claw, and
there's a
lots and
lot of
lots of
claw.
stats.
Oh yeah, couple guard pieces out there as well. Um,
Mhm.
Almost every player is a blocker. Obviously, not the hobgoblins. We
Mhm.
do have a hobgoblin that has dirty player and wrestle, but they are out for the next game. This is a scary looking
Yep.
team.
Yeah, I'll say that this team is basically almost scary. The only thing that's not scary to me, at least, is that all these claw pieces have 0 mighty blow. But once all these claw pieces get mighty blow, now we have the scariest team.
And of course, one of the 2 dwarf blockers, well, 3 of 3, there you go, has mighty blow. So he does have a mighty blow piece out there.
Yeah.
If he gets claw on that guy, you're right. It's going
Yeah.
to start getting really dangerous with this team.
Though any Armor 9 team is going to be having a bit of a struggle because they're going to get stunned a lot. And even just with stuns, that's going to be going down your pitch control. So that can be a worrisome thing. And then now I think we should go touch on the last amazing part, and that's the Bull Centaurs.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, a plus agility and a plus strength means you're just going to be hitting people and carrying the ball on your Bull Centaur, I
They're
feel.
they're bulldozers that you won't stop easily.
Yeah. And just they have their purpose, and just making them fulfill their job. And I would get sure hands on the block agility guy,
Yep.
because even if you have that movement 7 hobgoblin, I don't think he's as good as a carrier as just the Bull Centaur. Though
Not at
I could be
all.
wrong, and he just likes using a Bull Centaur for other things, but that's what you mostly get a agility up for.
I would maybe also look depending on with the strength one. I'd probably put guard on there if I could, as soon as I could, or mighty blow, make it even more dangerous.
I would definitely prefer Mighty Blow or even Tackle. Just having a mobile one, but maybe Mighty Blow into Tackle, because with Bull Centaurs, they're kind of weird and they don't actually want guard, even though they're strength piece. And that's just because they have a lot of movement on them, being a movement 9 potentially with sprint and sure feet.
The way I look at it is you're just rolling these 2 guys down the middle of the field, and everyone else is doing their own thing on the side, and anyone in the
Yeah,
way is going to have to suffer for it.
indeed. But just definitely scary. I think the one thing he can do is just maybe fire one of these hobgoblins. I could even see the movement up one going away, but seeing as he does get used, I don't know. Maybe pick up a new hobgoblin, use like another dirty player. He's definitely at an interesting spot where he can pick some stuff up, and he has extra money to spend. So why not?
Yeah. We got the one that has the kick ability, so that helps on your kickoffs. That block movement allowance hobgoblin's interesting. I could almost see you using that piece late in a game when you need to get a score fast, because he is a bit faster. I mean, he's not going to move the fastest, but he can also hold his own on most dice rolls if you need him to as well.
Yeah.
And he gets kind of out there because you needed to move him fast.
Yeah. Also, just maybe being an alternative carrier could help.
Yeah.
So that's definitely not a bad shout.
No,
But just still just one level away on half these players from just being their ultimate scariness. Just three mighty blows on these Chorvs are just going to make them probably going to kill a lot more teams, and you'll see them going up in the rankings pretty quick, I feel.
I would like to see where they are by mid-season. If they roll that out by mid-season, this is going to be probably the team to beat. I already think it's put themselves into that category.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, get a few more of those pieces leveled up into that spot, especially those claws. And I see this division looking at their schedule, seeing them on there and going, well, what am I going to do about this?
Yeah. Now, just looking back at them, they actually didn't have the greatest of seasons with a 3, 4, and 6. But with the team, I feel like they're going to be coming out of the losses and draws and stuff just with finally getting the kill power they need. So I would imagine this is the time where you cough bounty people, and get them before they become scary.
That is something I'm already considering, but do I put them on all three of those pieces, or do I wait and put them one by one?
Oh, you just let other people handle those. Everyone hates Claw.
Yeah.
And then everyone hates Strength 5 Bull Centaurs and Agility 3 Bull Centaurs.
You know what? I'm going to do it. Those Bull Centaurs, $10 in Steam gift card. On both of them. If you get both of them, I will double it to 40. Both in one game.
One game. That's your shot. I definitely like it. So that was definitely a team to watch out for, just with how scary it is.
Oh yeah, that one was Kalisti was the one that was going to cover this division originally, and I took it over last second. And he let me know Flinging Fun, BioWare for Life, Film Flares, and Doom Anvil were teams to watch for.
Nice. So you ready to move on to the grungy desserts?
Absolutely. This one does have the weather factor for themselves on that pitch. But let's take a look at the grungy desserts.
Now, here's a Nurgle team that's kind of like the other one, just slightly different.
Yeah.
And as vague as thing I could be, it is. Just the only difference is that he has a guard beast Nurgle, and we only have a mighty blow Nurgle warrior. They all went block first, so you didn't see anyone get super developed. And the Pestigors are still behind, but we're only 1450 TV.
Yep, it's a little bit trimmed up in that department. We do have a coach and a cheerleader, so it could be a little more lower even. I think compared to the other team, this Beast of Nurgle is leveled up, where I don't think the other one was.
Nope, the other one wasn't, but he did have a level 4 warrior with Block, Claw, Mighty Blow. So it's still a nice team over here. It's just very he went very slow on its development, which I understand, but he's really lacking a Beastman killer and a straight killer of any general purpose with only 2 Mighty Blow on this team. We need to rush some more in, I feel.
Not a whole lot on the bench either, compared to the last one.
Yeah. That is definitely what I would spend 40k on as soon as possible, just getting a 12th Rodder. And then I think this team could stick to it with its just being lean as its real give.
Yeah, we are sitting at 30k here in the bank, so as soon as we get that, I would pick up the other one just to make sure you're covered. More Mighty Blow would definitely be nice to see on here.
And then one thing I just want to say is yellow Lead Brownie should just get some Mighty Blow and become the killer. Then all apple pies or donut in a hole. If either of those roll dodge, that's your new ball carrier.
Yeah, they're both pretty young in their development. If they get MVP, man, they take it off. I think Lead Brownie can get it just by throwing himself out there a little bit. He does have the block piece on there, so you could.
I was imagining just an Agility 3 pass.
Oof, that's
even with the 3+3+, it's just you can still just squeak it by really quick, and then get even a touchdown on the 3 out of 6 that way.
Early in the game, late in the game, you want to get that free star player point. That's the first thing I do in game 1 is just make sure I complete a pass.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself out there to do it, but as soon as you get the chance, throw the ball, get that level up, and then hope you don't die.
Yeah. And then this one does not have anything for its stadium. The Sub Pop Bakery has nothing.
Nope. This team is still
And
pretty
last
young
season,
on early on compared to the other one, though.
yeah, last season he went 5-2-6. And one last thing to remark on Stouticus is that he was in the Super Bowl with Wood Elves, and he played those Wood Elves for 2 seasons, and then decided he wanted to re-roll Nurgle because his team died.
So overall, pretty good coach then.
He is a very good coach, very good with inducements. So watch out for him, guys. Next one is Evil in the Box's Merlin Plague Flies.
Kill him and then ill him.
So now, if we're counting at home, this is our third
Nurgle team.
And this is probably one of the strongest I've seen.
I was getting ready to say this team's got some nice pieces. I see a couple claws. I see some good stats up. That one Pestigore here with the extra arms even and the sure hands on him. That's a good ball carrier piece.
Just, I maybe think you should have maybe delayed the ball carrier, but if you're going to make one, he's definitely going the right way, I feel, with extra arms, just giving the reliability even without block. And then you just throw a block on him this next level, or even dodge if he gets it. And he's going to be doing a very good job. But Pestigore seemed to be the thing that's lacking in all these Nurgle teams. But this one does have some nice things on him with a movement up and that block here.
Yeah. And then even the one that has the sure hands and arms. So, I mean, he's got one Pestigore that's a little behind. Beast of Nurgle has the guard piece, getting closer to another level up. Both these Nurgle warriors at the top there, nicely developed so far with both claws. Both have Mighty Blow and both have block.
Yeah, that's definitely his staying power in this, and just that he actually does kill for Nurgle. And he does have 2 guard. And the only thing he's really lacking is just block pieces. And I generally don't like that kick rodder getting plus strength. And that's mostly because he could get guard for that. He could even like make him a killer just out of stupid stuff. You give him a Mighty Blow, then you just get claw because they have it on normals, and then block. Even on a kick piece, it's not bad because you're going to be holding him back regardless. But he does have real kill pieces already, so it makes sense to even just get guard.
What hurts having another kill piece when you need it?
Yeah.
This is a very nice team of the Nurgle so far. I would say this is the most developed one. Already looking like a good team that you're going to have to watch out for in this division. I would easily place them into what teams we've gone through, top 4 from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, he is definitely going to be doing great, and there's a couple levels around the corner, so more reliability with block is going to be coming around, I feel, and we'll see some stuff happen.
Let's take a look at last season. He did go 5-2-6 in Division 5E. Had 2 kills.
And then his stadium is not upgraded with Papa's Cauldron.
Nope.
So,
but we got
bit lame there,
rolls.
but
yeah,
he does have one of the better teams we've seen.
Got some money in the bank as well, so if we need to get some pieces moved around fast, if something goes wrong, you can easily replace. And team value is not too high for what it looks like even.
Yeah, the team value is actually, I feel, kind of what you want. He really could have easily just backed away from the strength up and maybe just got block even.
Yeah.
And I know skipping a double in even just plus strength always hurts. But making this a 60k player instead of 110k would drop that TV down a bit too. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
If everything rolls right, he should be in playoff contention for most of the season, I hope. Now this division, are they sending 2? I didn't look at that part of it. Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I do not, but I would estimate that it's probably 2 for this slot because just how the 64 goes. Sorry, it's 128 now? No, I think it was round to 64 we had. So with 128 coaches, see, that's where it comes in.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you get just a lot of people coming in. So I would imagine this is a 2 slaughter.
Let's take a look at less sucky bloodsuckers. For trees are people too.
Yeah.
Sucking blood and sucking that blood bowl. This is our second or third vampire team. Our second one, right?
I think this is our second. And
And already I'm
one
going to
thing
say
just to notice,
they got the team out of order.
team out of order. The thing I noticed that came literally straight out to me was these first two vampires are actually insane with
Yeah.
that's a movement up and a strength, and then doubles into doubles for the passing vampire.
And then the next one has block and dodge on them. Those are some nice vampire pieces to start off with.
Yeah. One thing he just needs to do is I think he needs to get Count Rex the Blood Dragon, which is appropriately named. I love that name though. Just 2 passes and you get him block, and he's a monster. Movement 7, strength 5. You're going to be like going toe to toe with that bull centaur, and maybe doing some work.
I'm going to call an early bounty. If he takes block on him, the bounty hits.
Ooh, definitely an interesting thing there. With being 1470, I feel like it's a pretty decent value for him. And I would fire this armor 6 thrall and buy 2 more, and he would be up to a 14-man roster. And that's exactly where we want to be with vampires. You really like that high roster no matter what.
I would assume, based on, he hasn't played yet, that maybe he was waiting to see what he had thrown at him first before he dropped money elsewhere. But I mean, it is kind of a straightforward one. Like, no matter what, I think I would have dropped this piece regardless.
And being at 5 rerolls, he already has a Zappo. He has everything he needs there. And dropping that thrall isn't a big problem. And even if a vampire gets hurt, they do have regen and an apothecary, so it's going to pretty much keep them alive. And these can be pretty good really soon. And just this passing vampire is very unorthodox, but I think we could see him actually do his magic soon.
Let's see how many passes he completed. He's had 3 MVPs. He has scored a touchdown, and he's made a catch with this guy.
Yeah.
Done more yards running than passing, so... Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Let's go back.
Yards passing, that's 70, but how many passes?
5.
5 passes actually isn't bad. It doesn't mean that he's grinding him out in the backfield, though, which makes sense because you have Bloodlust. But I'd like to see more on there.
I do agree.
But that is basically just throwing a 2+ at 6 squares, so it's very scary. And with the reroll, and then he's just going to be getting maybe some dodge, then sure hands. He's going to be a very unorthodox thrower, but he made it.
If it works, it works.
Indeed.
5 rerolls.
5 rerolls I really agree with, especially if you're going into the 4 or 5 vampire territory. With and even in 5, you don't roster all 5 on the pitch. It's just a replacement one. But you're going to be needing it for your bloodlust when it needs to, or when you have extra. And then just in general, you're going to have your thralls roll some 1 and 9s, some bad dodges. Maybe you need a hypno gaze to work. You never know. But this team is at the cusp of doing what it needs to do.
It's a very nice looking team so far. I think it's the better vampire team that we've looked at. Just because the vampires are right where they have to be. Little wonky, but they're on course for where you want them to be.
And as for club, they have dwarf cheerleaders, and that's the only difference.
Yeah, they're level.
And then looking at their overall, or sorry, not their overall, but their division in 5e record was 5-2-6, so middle of the table. And I expect to see some cool stuff out of this game. Or this team.
This would be a nice team to watch. Now, the next team is another team I was told to look out for, with the Film Flayers, as they are Necros.
Yep. This is my my co-host here, so I gotta definitely talk good about him, or else he's gonna beat me up.
I mean, do you have to? Maybe now's your time to complain and, say some things that you want to say that you can't say to him without hurting his feelings.
Okay, well, first things first is I think he's done the Necro team right, honestly. He's got, his Mighty Blow Werewolf he rolled doubles for already. Very nice. He's got a Blodge one for a carrier. He's got 2 Flesh Golems with block, which I definitely like the block before guard route because these guys are definitely not meant to die, as a lot of coaches think they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely meant to be cherished and loved and given some skills that keep them alive. Then we got the whites that do some killing power and his one tackle, which is going to be very important when he hits flings and such. Which I think this is his second time around with getting these flings, or a different pair.
Couple of mighty
And
blows across the board. Nice to see.
yeah, 3 mighty blows, definitely nice. Anything you want to comment on it?
Like I said, the mighty blows, seeing those 3 are pretty good. I like seeing those. The ghoul with the block is a nice little piece. I know a lot of people overlook them or don't think too much of them at times, but that could be helpful when you need it to. Plenty of block across the board. We do have a dirty player down there as well as a kicker, and then the guard piece on that zombie. I would ask that we maybe put those extras in order there. You have 5, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's triggered a little bit of my OCD.
See, it's actually out of order because he put the SPP in order.
Ooh, good point.
So I give him +2 points because it is making them out of order, but they're also in a different order.
You have a lot of pieces that are getting close to leveling up, mainly the linemen. Oh, the zombies. I'm sorry, they're basically linemen.
Yeah. Now, with this being a 200K in the bank team, this is going to be a 1460 team, and for that, I would say it's quite competitive.
I agree, and we got the cheerleaders, and we even got the necromancer here. 3 rerolls, a little low on the fan factor, but that's all right. This is shaping up to be a good team so far, and you're right. This is a necro team that's going the right way.
Yeah, and looking at the club, we got the throw a rock and get the ref. There is canceled here with the squig sandwich kiosk. Does have the human cheerleaders. Boo. And looking at his 5e performance, it was 6, 3, and 4. So we're going up to a little bit higher in the division order. Or sorry, not higher, but a higher record in this division. And I definitely could see why with this team. Just built solid. The only thing he's missing is
the third or fourth
guard.
team that's from 5e last season in this one?
Haven't been keeping count, so it's up to you.
I want to say it's at least the third.
Could be.
I like to see if he keeps going the right way. He might middle for a minute, but if everything keeps rolling out, he could take a late shot, maybe even an early run. But if pieces keep going the right way, this could be a team to watch out for very soon.
I could honestly see the early run being in this team's future with its tackle already, its claw mighty blow going, and just Necro as a whole is usually really strong.
Cthulhu Collector, welcome. We are actually doing a recap for Division 7 of the league. Cthulhu Collector actually comes and watches almost all of my Blood Bowl games with me when I stream them.
He's definitely a nice man.
Oh, yeah.
And here we get to depressing squads of Skink Gerber admin squad. Gerber, sorry, I keep pronouncing it wrong. That's his admin team. We got the poor admin squad Mark 10 for Full Metal COS's contribution.
Yep.
And the green bye week with Murskadu.
So we're missing 3 players. Now, are there teams missing that haven't accepted a ticket? Is there any way that we can look at that? Or
I don't have any powers to look at that. I know some other people do. But this is where we get to say, if you haven't accepted your ticket, please accept. If not, we're going to have these bye weeks coming in, which is why I think we only see one fully said as a bye week and the other ones seem to be filler. So this could mean if you have a bye week, it could fill up with one of these other 2 squads if they come in time or in the middle of the season. So don't just assume that you're going to have a free week. Make sure to be looking.
And I'm looking through the schedule. I don't see.
Yeah, is there any games you want to see?
I'm looking forward to the Jazz Poison one.
Wait a second. I think we're being a bit dumb. Those already are gone. This is a full division.
Oh, yeah, they're there still. Never mind. Right away, Film Flares, Doom Anvils. I want, if the coaches come by and watch this, please let me know if you guys schedule this game. Would love to cast it and put it out there because that's going to be my game of the week right there.
That definitely does seem where it's at.
I would love to watch that one go down.
Though another thing I want to see just for pure shenanigans is BioWare for Life and the Wayside Wondermongers.
That's another good looking one right there as well.
So that's my picks. And do you want to do picks for this season?
So who I think is gonna make I'm gonna go with who I think is gonna finish number one. Um,
I think we need to do number 1 and 2, and it's Sunday after 6 p.m. EST apparently for Voltron BB. Thanks for that answer, man.
Thank you. We'll see if I can do that because my normal show starts at 6 on Sundays. If I can get it in there, I would love to do it. Right away, I think that Film Flares and Dune Anvils matchup is going to be a key matchup right away. Both those teams have a very good shot at finishing near the top. I'm going to take Doom Anvils to take number 1, and I'm going to take Jazz
I'm taking
Poison
Film Flares for that.
I'm taking Jazz.
You took my pick. How could you? Okay, well, for my number 2 then, after the Film Flares, because I got to go with my co-host that built some Necro. Very nice. Out of, there's a lot of Nurgle teams to choose from, and I think we're going to see, I feel Stouticus with the Grungy Desserts is going to make it. It's definitely, I kind of believe in the coach here with this very low and humble Nurgle team. I feel like it's just going to be his control play that keeps him in. So, very against the grain.
Week 2, we got Starstruck and Film Flares going at it. Jazz Poison and the Wayside Wondermongers are going to take it out to each other as well. Mm-hmm. Those will be 2 fun ones. And then Grungy's also going to have Nuffle Nose Wonk Elf.
Now, one thing I noticed is that Derrican is going to be really happy with having both vampires the first 2 weeks. So all his Mighty Blow is just going to be firing on them and trying to get those quick levels. Because with those thralls being 6-3-3-7, they just break.
Yeah. Well, obviously I'll keep an eye on everything. But I will make sure I get your picks in and see what we got. In fact, like I mentioned earlier at the start of the show, if any of the teams want to start taking some trash talk through me, look, hit me up on Discord, message me on Reddit, whatever you want to work through. You got anything you want to throw in, feel free. Iron, yeah. I do appreciate that you came and helped me out tonight.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out for anyone that's in the Vision that wants to talk about their team and talk about what they think's going on, make sure to come and contact McSkippy for anything. You definitely need some new people.
Absolutely, and they're more than welcome to even join me on the recaps and walk through it. And maybe if I pull up their team and ask them how things are going, they can throw in their own 2 cents.
Yep, indeed. So, you want to take us out here?
I will take it out. I appreciate everyone that's been out. This will be uploaded to YouTube within the next 24 hours. You know how things go. Overall, looking forward to it. This is going to be my first season doing video recaps, so anything you guys want to see, please let me know. If anyone's got something that they're looking forward to or they want to throw in as well, I will be updating the bounty board in the next few hours. I threw a few out during this video. If you cash in, make sure you let me know.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you pointed out during, like, when you look at the team, you're like, oh, look what we're missing.
Yeah. I got the teams, I got the players written down, I'm ready to roll. Thank you again for joining me and helping me out. You're more than welcome to come help me out anytime.
Yep. Thanks for having me here. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. And hopefully I get to actually play Blood Bowl soon. I just saw a message pop through the Discord that we've got some players that accepted, but I wasn't one of the ones that were told that, hey, people took in. So hopefully maybe I can play Blood Bowl soon.
Ooh, it'll definitely be fun.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I am going to take it on out from here. Everyone have a great night. Have a good one.